This ain't no joke, this ain't no game. This that CSZ game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55 was goody. Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. All the shows spread fake news. We just call it podcast. West Joey, Sam, Sean, Dalton. And you know that boy hit you. He said he was a small fry. Tell him they better make him bang. Yeah, you already know what we be on.
You bet. Here he goes. This place is gone.
If we set it instead of the zone, sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Straight steal of home. The slide. The Cards win.
The magic is working tonight. How do you know when things are
The emotional journey to the championship.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's special edition of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. I'm your host, as always, Jeremy Wyman, and we are coming to you live from the Rally House Studios. Guys, as always, I'm not going to go through the normal spiel. You can see underneath me where you can donate to the sports show, or if you want to send some donations to our guests, we'll figure out a way to get that taken care of. On the other side, underneath the very prestigious 55 basketball jersey is where you can follow us on social media. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up on YouTube. It helps us out more if you're watching on YouTube, as it does as opposed to any other ones. For some reason, sponsors want to know about YouTube views. They don't care about how many likes or dislikes or upvotes or downvotes you get on the other ones. So we appreciate you all tuning in for this very special episode. Look, let's not waste any more time. My very special guest today is a 6'7" guard from Washington, D.C., the three-sport athlete from Woodbury Hills and IMG and a couple of other schools, has been successful wherever he goes. He is a fan of the Beatles and the Washington Wizards. Sorry, I get that confused. He's my favorite card for a multitude of reasons, but he also just happens to wear a very special number on his jersey. He is number 1 in your heart, but number 55 on your program. He is the one, the only, Spencer Legg. Spencer, what's good, my man?
Crazy intro. I love that.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Double nickel. You know we're supporting.
That's how we got to do, man. It's a very special fraternity. For a long time, man, I've been a Cardinals fan since birth, obviously, and I never got to see a 55 on the jersey. And last year, my guy Scott Clark wore it, and I was happy. And now you're wearing it this year, so hopefully that tradition carries on. But how's it going today, man? How you doing?
Good, great. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. We're glad to finally get this going. And we've been trying to get something like this together for a minute, but when you're playing winning basketball, you don't have a whole lot of time to do stuff like this. So glad you got to fit us in today. Let's get right into it, man. Can you explain every episode? I plug Spencer Stand. I read some of your mission statement. I tell them how they can help support you. But it's going to hit different coming from you. Can you let them know what Spencer Stand is?
First of all, I support you. I know we've been hitting each other on Instagram. I support and I appreciate what you do. But so Spencer Stand is something I started last year when I was playing at the College of Charleston under Coach Kelsey. And when I was 11 years old, I was diagnosed with diabetes, and I've just never let it stop me in any sort of way. And I've had my ups and my downs, but I think I've gotten to a point now where, you grew up a Cards fan. The support here, especially when you're winning games, is unparalleled. So, I knew I was going to be on a bigger stage, and me and my team and the people that I work with to help Spencer Stand flow and operate, we accepted that challenge. And ever since we've gotten here, we've gotten crazy amount of love. Everyone's been super supportive. We've been able to spread our mission and increase donations and do all that good stuff. So.
Well, that's awesome, man. And we are a very loving fan base. Sometimes it's hard for me because, I fan for so long, now in the media. So I kind of got to look at everything with a different lens. But what I will say, and you can call me a homer if you want to, people that are listening, there aren't very many fan bases that love and support and feel the way that this fan base does. And when you got a guy at the helm, and this meant a lot to me personally in the post game presser the other day. One of our writers at CardinalSportsZone.com, Ben Gumble, he was our men's basketball beat writer, and man, he got a sudden illness, and he passed away a couple weeks ago at the age of 29. And Coach Kelsey and the staff there, I can't say enough good things about them. Miss Dana has been wonderful, but he mentioned them, and he didn't have to do that, but just him mentioning that in the post game, I got calls from the whole. His mom was crying, so grateful for that. But when you got a guy like that gets the fan base, some people don't get the fan base. They come here and they try to do their thing and it don't work. This guy gets the fan base. So when y'all have a leader like that to look up to, it shouldn't be very surprising that's how you all act on and off the court as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think he recruits in a specific way. I mean, obviously basketball is what he's recruiting, but on top of that, it's character, and he brings in high character guys, and they reflect not only the program but probably his personal values. So yeah, I mean, I think Coach Kelsey has it down to a T, especially just like how in depth he is. Like anything happens in the community or in the program, he makes sure to pay attention to that and shout everyone out.
Absolutely. Well, a question that I got via Twitter, Mike wanted to know, why did you follow Coach Kelsey to the Ville?
So my story was a little different than most of the people that followed him. At first I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I mean, just this world of the transfer portal is so crazy and so hectic. And Coach Kelsey actually called me this summer and said that, they had a kid who didn't end up coming here and that there was an open spot. And he said, just being one of his culture guys, and I understood the system and what they did. And he invited me, and honestly, it didn't take too long for me to say yes. And ever since I bought in, it's just been crazy cool to be a part of this program.
Absolutely. Can you kind of so we talked a little bit about Spencer Stand in the mission statement and stuff. So if you've been to the site, which I have, you read about like some of your journeys, your struggles and stuff. What's been another question we got from the chat line? They wanted to know what's been the biggest struggle, the obstacle you've had to overcome to be able to be a high performing Division I athlete with type 1 diabetes.
I mean, I'd say a lot of this stuff was when I first was diagnosed. I mean, I was 11 years old. I was just starting to kind of grow into like a young kid, and definitely was a big hit on my confidence and how I felt, just like in everyday stuff, like going to recess with my boys or playing pickup basketball, stuff like that. I had to adjust to my lifestyle, and I had to learn, and I had to mature. Honestly, that was the bottom line. I had to grow up a little bit, and as tough as that was, I look at it now as kind of as a blessing. I got that opportunity to do that from a young age, and it's really helped me in the other aspects of my life.
Absolutely. We're on here with number 55. The other 55. Well, I don't know if we call them the other. If you're 55, you're 55. But the current 55.
We can both be 55. Let's call it 110.
Absolutely. Facts. It's Spencer Legg on here with us, and today's show is spotlighting Spencer Stand, and we're the Twitter for that is it just it's at Spencer Stand, correct?
At Spencer Stand, yeah. Two S's.
So make sure you follow on Twitter, and we'll give you a chance to plug everything here in a little bit. But to touch a little bit back on PK, there were a lot of people out there that, I'll be honest with you, when you have the pulse of the fan base like we do, like most of the podcasts and radio shows do, we were just sick and tired of being sick and tired. So when we heard name after name turning us down, it was like, oh no. But then we got the Pat Kelsey call, and it was like, okay, let's see what this might be. A lot of people predicted a lot worse year, and he busted through it all. And it'd be normal for people to be skeptical with the jump in competition level of the conferences. But the first thing that changed and I won't say I was against it. I wasn't against it. I was for it. I was just for a change. And I'd heard a lot of good things about Coach Kelsey from a few of my friends in the coaching business. So I was cool. But the thing that really got me on board, I went to the TBT. One of my buddies got me. I've been battling with some health issues myself, and the first time after I got out of the hospital, I was like, I want to go to the TBT, and he got me a seat. I was sitting like second row in the end zone of the basketball court, and the entire basketball team was sitting there, and they were cheering for the TBT team like they were their brothers, like they had known them forever, like they were friends. That kind of camaraderie. A lot of people overlook that. We've had a lot of great teams that were here at Louisville that were good on the basketball court. Yeah. But they were horrible off the basketball court. Didn't like each other, didn't want to talk to each other, stole each other's girlfriends actually a couple times. Wasn't a good atmosphere. But you guys from the jump have shown how much you love each other, how much you love the city. And that's something, I mean, y'all may not hear it enough, but that's something that this is a blue-collar city. This is a blue-collar fan base. Like, we get up at 6 a.m. Sometimes we work to 6 p.m., and the only thing we want to do is come home and watch our Cardinals dominate. And thank God, after the last couple seasons, we've gotten back to that. And it's fundamentals. Talk a little bit about what you think has been the biggest reason this team, because anytime you put 14 or 15 new guys together, you worry about, well, when are they going to gel? And even with you guys, it did take a couple of months to gel, but once we've seen that finished product, man, I've not seen – people will tell me that I'm in the – oh, you're just talking about this like this in the heat of the moment. I cannot remember in the 30-something years, and I'm decreasing the years because I don't want to seem as old as I am, but the 30-plus years I've been watching Louisville Cardinal basketball, and I said this on Twitter the other night, I don't know that we've ever had a team that has teamed the way that you all team, if that makes sense. Yeah. You all are a team. Y'all are him, y'all are them, you're the whole thing.
It starts with Pat Kelsey. I mean, we have this phrase, and a lot of stuff we say gets corny, or, you know, you think people might get sick and tired of it, but PK says culture eats strategy for lunch. And I think we embody that, because it's not just the way that the fans and the way that people see us on game day is the same way that we're in practice. When we were preparing for Spalding before the season, we prepared the same way for Duke. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of commitment, that type of I'd say it's a couple things, but it starts with culture. I mean, it's first and foremost culture. Culture is what wins us games. And then as we've gone on, and I'll be honest with you, it's gotten better throughout the season. You know, like as we started to use that word gel, and we started to buy into that. And, you know, I mean, every time you see one person just buy in a little bit more, everyone else gets more committed to it. And not to say that the X's and O's on the court aren't what win us games, or Chucky having 37 isn't what win us games, but it's, I mean, Chucky would say it himself, like, it's culture. You saw the way Chucky ended that game the other day, where he could have had 40 on the layup with 30 seconds left, but he dumped it off to Vaughn for a flush, because, I mean, I think we're really starting to, I mean, and honestly, good timing to start like feeling really good about your culture, you know, right about now. So yeah, it starts with Coach Kelsey, and what Coach Kelsey brings is that level of commitment and 25 strong and all those phrases we use that build our culture.
And like you said, a lot of people think that kind of stuff is corny. Not me.
Yeah.
As a Division I football athlete myself back in the day, I love stuff like that. It helped motivate me. It helped keep me going. Yeah. And you guys are, like I said, y'all are the epitome. Y'all are the gold standard of what a team should be. Next man up. Y'all had a plethora of obstacles yourself at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I told people at the beginning of the season. I told them, I was like, just wait. Like people, a lot of people didn't expect this to be the way. I mean, I expected this. Like this is my 3.5 years of knowing Coach Kelsey and being with him almost every day. I mean, I knew that something like this was gonna turn up.
Absolutely. Like I was saying, though, man, we lost a couple of players. We lost a player here, lost a player there with Corin and Kaysen, and it was just like next man up. And y'all just did that in a way I've never seen it done before. Let's get back to Spencer Stand for a second. You offer 3 tiers of sponsorship. I don't know if you call it sponsorship or whatever. Three tiers,
packages, if you will.
Yeah, 3 packages. So can you kind of let everybody know what those are? I know they're tired of hearing me say it every week, but can you kind of let them know what they are and how much they are and stuff of that nature?
Yeah, I'd love to. So the 3 events that we offer, and one of which is more popular than any other, and that's obviously our game day experience. And then we'll do Zooms. So for kids or type 1 diabetics who can't come to a game or who are living long distance, like, we had an impact in Charleston recently. So, a lot of those kids, it's the easiest way to talk to them is over a Zoom call. Sure. Or we'll do one-on-one workouts, which I think will probably take, and we've had one so far, we've had a couple so far. I think that'll take stride more after the season with obviously more free time. But yeah, I mean, our bread and our butter is hosting kids at games, and we do the full 9. Like I try to get there as early as possible, and hang out with whoever we're hosting. Recently, we had a kid named Jack Powers, who was diagnosed. Young kid, really cool kid, but it's something. It's a tough thing, and being able to provide any sort of relief or comfort, or honestly, just if you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, let's do that. So we did that recently, and the game day experience is really cool because we get there before the game. They get the full in-depth look at the locker room and the facility and in the arena itself, and they'll stay throughout the game, and I'll chop it up with them after the game and talk to their family, answer any questions, and it's really just a cool lens for them to see. I think a type 1 athlete who's not letting it affect him, in any sort of negative way. So that's our main thing. But yeah, we do those 3 packages that we offer.
Awesome. And can we? Do you know yet? I don't want to get you in any trouble, but do we know yet if you're coming back for another year?
That's the plan right now.
Okay, so if that occurs, you guys need to, again, like he said, hop on it during the summer. As far as the other 2 packages are concerned, you got to get in on the game day packages, though, man. I've had a couple people that have tried to get in, and it's been sold out, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So make sure
it helps that we're winning, but yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say sign up as soon as possible.
Absolutely. So by the time this airs, we will have already played the California Bears. We at the time of the recording, 0-1 all time, and I remember that game very vividly for 2 bad reasons. One, that was the night. We lost by like 20 or 30 points. It was horrible, but that was also the night my grandpa he fell in the bathtub and got hurt really bad. So mostly a bad night for that, but then to lose big time in the NCAA tournament after you've been waiting all year, that not a good thing either. The Cardinals will play California at 3 a.m. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just kidding. 9 p.m. on the ACC network. Trust me, once you reach 40, Spencer, everything past 9 p.m. feels like 3 a.m. When you got to work the next morning. Prediction for me, Cardinals by 16. I can't wait to run this back next year with you, Spencer. Let me go ahead and close this out and hang on with me for a second because I got a couple more questions for you. Please support our photographers, Jeff Nunn, TJ Barr, Justin Kruger, and Keith Russell. Keith and Jeff are our basketball photographers, and they're the best in the business, and I don't care if that gets me any heat with the other guys. It's the truth. For sponsorship opportunities for the show, In the bottom left-hand corner, it'll show you how to do that. Tune into our show every Friday night at 11:05 for our regular time slot. Stay tuned to our social media and subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live, even though we prefer YouTube. You can find the podcast audio version of the podcast on over 125 different podcast avenues: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, iHeart, to name a few. Hit subscribe, like, heart, plus sign, or whatever they have for that particular avenue. If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy to find. Go to cardinalsportszone.com, the place it all began. Go to the podcast tab, drop down menu, select the CSZ podcast for our new stuff, select the archives for our older stuff, which occurred before we went on the air at 93.9 for 4 years. So got a little bit of a book in there. Check out our exclusives at cardinalsportszone.com. Shout out to everybody out there that's sharing the podcast. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to our guys, Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work Monday through Friday from 10 to noon on ESPN 93.9 DeVille. Special shout out to our guy, Dalton Pence, who is now doing Mondays with Dalton Pence from 6 to 7 on the Big X. Big shout out to our guys at the 502 Circle, Mark and Dan, doing a great job. Where can people find everything Spencer on social media, or Spencer Stand?
So we have the same handle for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. X now. So it's Spencer Stand with 2 S's in the middle, so an S at the end and then an S to start Stand. And if you want to find our website, just spencerstand.com, same spelling. Really in-depth website that, me and the team worked really hard on, and you can find a lot of information there, and it's definitely not just one of those pop-down menus. It's, if you have any questions about us, you can find it there, or hit us up on any of our social media platforms.
Absolutely. It's one of the best, and I'm not just saying this because you're on here with me, but one of the best websites that I've seen. I know a lot of people that have personal websites that are talking about their cause and that have missions that, like, top 2 one I've ever seen. So kudos to that. Thank you so much for joining us today, taking some time out of your busy day, Spencer. Do you have any last things you want to say before we shut it down for today?
I would say, just if you're watching, if you're listening to this, go follow us on our social medias. That type of presence is how we're going to grow this. I wear this wristband, the Spencer Stand wristband. I wish I could give all these out. I think I'm actually gonna soon here, but so Saturday, March 8th, we play Stanford, and we have our biggest event of the year. We're partnering with Norton Healthcare, and we're hosting 4 families. There's going to be not only advertisement and a table towards the front of the Yum Center when you arrive, but there's also going to be a video played either at halftime or one of the media timeouts. So just stay tuned for that, and yeah.
That's awesome. After the show, I'll get together with you. We at Cardinal Sports Zone are going to make a donation to Spencer Stand. We want to support our guys. Again, we are a very tight-knit community here. We got nothing but love for all the student athletes that do what they do to be able to provide us with a little bit of a break from our everyday life, and we really do appreciate you guys. Want to give a couple shout-outs, and then we're going to hit the outro music and get out of here. Our guy Blake McCauley from CardinalSportsZone.com and former Cardinal Terrence Jennings have created a new podcast. It's called Spill in the Ville with Terrence Jennings. You can find that on Twitter and YouTube at Spill in the Ville. I haven't been putting any of my weight loss stuff on Twitter because I don't want to, and that's what we're not calling it X, Spencer. We're calling it Twitter because older people don't like change. So I've been putting all my weight loss stuff on there. So if you want to follow my weight loss journey, 63 pounds since December the 1st, let's get it. Follow me there at Jeremy_CSZ. And tell your friends and tell their friends about CSZ so we can all be friends. No Diddy. Look, we hope you all enjoyed this week. L's up. Thanks again for the support. We love you guys. Until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, and this has been Spencer Legg. We appreciate you guys. Can you hear the outro music?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it doesn't go. I installed a new camera a couple days ago, so I'm looking back and forth. So I hope you didn't think I was like,
no, you're good. You're good.
All right. We're going to end the recording right here. Thanks, guys, again. We appreciate y'all tuning in.